So it's officially summertime, and that brings a lot of big and fun new movies to theaters. So I wanted to look at some of the summer 2024 movies and talk about what are my most anticipated. So I have this list of 15 movies. I'm going to rank the top 10 movies I'm most looking forward to this summer. And then I have three runner ups and two honorable mentions. The honorable mentions are movies that I've already seen before their June release dates, but I still want to talk about them because if I hadn't seen them before they came out, they would definitely be high up on my list. So before we get started, I'm defining the summer movie season as June through August. So even though there's some big movies that come out in May and September, they're not eligible to be on the list. This list is only going to be for those 3 months. So without further ado, here are my top picks for the movies this summer. My first honorable mention is Hitman, which is the new Richard Linklater film starring Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona. And it's about a college professor who moonlights as a hitman for the police department in New Orleans, and he pretends to be one and goes undercover and arrests these potential people looking to have someone killed. And one day, this woman comes to him to have her husband killed, and he falls in love and starts this really complicated turn of events. And I saw this movie and its theatrical run. Netflix gave it a theatrical run for about 2-3 weeks, and I was able to catch it. It was amazing. I have a full review up for it, and I think you should definitely check it out. It's leaving theaters this week, if it's still in theaters some places it's already left. So if it's in theaters still around you, I would highly recommend checking it out. I'm hoping to check it out again this week. But yeah, this movie's excellent. Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona have great chemistry. They're both excellent. Richard Linklater's direction is very good. The script and story is insane. It's just an absolute blast. So absolutely check this one out. I couldn't recommend it more, and check out my review on it as well. My next honorable mention is The Bike Riders, starring Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, and Tom Hardy. And in the movie, Austin Butler is a member of this bike club that slowly turns into a bike gang that's run by Tom Hardy's character. And Tom Hardy is trying to get Austin Butler to take over the club for him, and Jodie Comer is trying to get him to leave the club. And we have this dynamic between the three characters who are all hoping to pull Austin Butler's character in this different direction, and you never know what Austin Butler truly wants, so it just makes for this interesting struggle. And I thought this was a very, very good movie. I think all the performances are really good. There's some fun actors that show up in the movie that they don't have huge roles, but it's fun to see them show up. I thought the story was very interesting. And yeah, I thought this was a really cool movie. I was able to check it out very early last October at the BFI London Film Festival, and ever since then, I've been very excited for it to come out and for everyone to check it out. I think it's just a really, really strong movie, and make sure to see it. It comes out June 21st, so highly recommend giving this one a watch. So I have a couple runner-ups, which are movies that didn't quite make my top 10 of the summer, but I still want to check out. I think they could be interesting. And first up is Blink Twice. And the trailer of this seemed like it was inspired by Saltburn and had just a similar aesthetic. And I just think it looks really interesting. It's Channing Tatum inviting these group of rich people back to his compound or vacation area, and just slowly looks like some crime, murder goes down, and it just looks really interesting. I think Channing Tatum's a fun actor. I think Adria Arjona, coming off Hitman, she's great. I'm interested to see how Zoe Kravitz directs the movie. And yeah, I think it looks like a good time. The trailer intrigued me, but I think I need to see a little more before I could put it over some of the movies in my top 10. But I will definitely be checking this one out, and the trailer definitely made an impression on me. My next runner-up is going to be The Instigators, directed by Doug Liman and starring Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. And they play these two people that go on a heist that goes wrong. And that's about all I know about the movie. The poster just came out today. So by the time I'm done editing and posting this video, there's a good chance the trailers come out and I'll have more detailed thoughts. But just going off what I know now, that director and acting combo, that sounds awesome. I like heist movies, and I just think this could be a lot of fun. I thought his Roadhouse remake that came out earlier this year, I thought Doug Liman did a good job with. And I just think this will be a fun time. It's an Apple TV movie, comes out in August. I'm hoping that it'll get some kind of theatrical release like we did with Argyle and Napoleon, but we'll see. But I'll definitely be checking this one out, and I'm hoping it's something fun, and hopefully we get a trailer soon. So yeah, this is going to be a fun watch for me, I think. And the final runner-up I have is Cuckoo, and this is a horror movie that stars Hunter Schafer and Dan Stevens. And I'm not really sure too much about this. I saw the trailer, and it looks like family moves to a new area, and some weird stuff's going on there. But the trailer was purposely vague, and I appreciated that because out of the reviews I'm hearing out of some film festivals, sounds like this movie is just a wild experience, kind of like Barbarian, and it's best to go in not knowing much. So I'm hoping to do that. Looks like there's some good scares. There's one scene with the bicycle that I thought was really intense and hooked me in the trailer. But yeah, I'm just hoping this is going to be a edge of your seat, fun horror movie that I'm looking forward to checking out. So now on to my top 10 most anticipated movies of summer 2024. And in 10th place, I have Longlegs. And this movie I am just very, very interested in. The marketing has been genius. We've been getting these little teases on YouTube that have just been these really weird clips that make the movie seem very horrifying. And then we finally got the official trailer. And going into the trailer, I didn't even watch it online because I wasn't sure if I was going to check it out or not, because I was really enjoying how little the movie was giving away in the early marketing. But I was at The Strangers, Chapter 1, and I saw the trailer, and I was shocked. I feel like I know nothing about this movie. I know it follows Micah Monroe as a FBI agent tracking this serial killer, and that's about all I know. And I know that Nick Cage is the serial killer, but yeah, I like how I know nothing about this movie. The visuals in the trailer were very disturbing. This looks like a really creepy movie, and it looks like it's a little bit in the vein of Silence of the Lambs, but yeah, the marketing has definitely sold me, and I'm just really curious to check this out. The early reviews have been insane, and I am definitely excited. Well, maybe keeps this one down a little lower on this list, but then again, everything on this list I'm very excited for. But what keeps it down a little lower might be that I just don't fully know as much about this movie as I do about some of the others above it. But then again, that's what has me excited. So this one, I might have a different opinion going out of it, where I might be like, that was amazing. How was I not more excited? Or I might be like, that one which wasn't for me. How did they even make this list? But either way, I'm definitely intrigued with this one and can't wait to see what it's like. In ninth place, I have Inside Out 2, and this one actually releases this weekend, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. The first Inside Out is a really solid Pixar movie. It's not one of my personal favorites of the studio, but I think it's a really solid movie, and I'm looking forward to checking this one out. The trailers have done a really good job of highlighting what worked with the emotional side of the story in the first movie, and yeah, it just looks solid. I was a little disappointed to hear that Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling aren't coming back, so that has it a little bit lower for my expectations, because a little worried why they didn't bring him back. I think I heard it was a financial thing, but maybe they turned on the script and didn't really think it was a good enough story. Highly doubt that, because the early reviews have been very, very positive, so I'm very much looking forward to checking this one out. I think it just looks like classic Pixar, and I think classic Pixar is needed. They've had some hits and they've had some misses lately. So this just seems like it'll be a solid home run for them. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. And I think should be a really solid animated movie. So in eighth place, I have the new M. Night Shyamalan movie Trap, starring Josh Hartnett. And in it, he plays a father who's taking his daughter to this concert. And once he's at the event, he slowly starts to realize it's a sting operation to catch this serial killer. And the trailer doesn't outright say it, but it's heavily implied that Josh Hartnett is the killer. And the plot of the movie is going to be how he manages to get out of this situation where he is surrounded and the police are narrowing in on him. And I think that seems like an awesome plot. I think it really fits M. Night Shyamalan's just his skill set, where I think you can have some really cool twists in there, where I'm almost tempted to think that because they don't outright say he's the killer, that maybe he's not, but someone close to him is. I'm not really sure, but I'm definitely intrigued. I thought the trailer was super, super interesting, and I just know this is going to keep me at the edge of my seat. I'm hearing rumors it's a pretty long movie, which I think would be really cool. Concerts can be long experiences, so to like fully immerse you in the situation, have it play by almost minute by minute, that could be really cool. And I think it's going to be fun to see Josh Hartnett, another movie coming off Oppenheimer. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I hope it's a return to form for M. Night. Haven't loved his last couple movies, but he's made some great ones, and I hope this is another great one. In seventh place, I have Despicable Me 4, and what can I say? I enjoy the Despicable Me movies. I think the Minions ones have been a step down, but the main four, or will be main four, but the main three Despicable Me movies have really worked for me. I think Gru and his girls are awesome characters to lead this franchise. I think the Minions are a lot of fun. As side characters, I think they're not the best leads, which is why the original Minions movie doesn't work very well for me, but I just think they know what they're doing with these movies. They're such a fun time. They work really well for kids, but I feel like adults can appreciate them too. Where I appreciate them, and I think they're really well made movies, and I think they have a really strong emotional heartbeat that doesn't really get talked about enough, especially with that first movie. But I really dug the trailer for the fourth one. I love the idea about Gru's son and him having just this like beef between them. I think that's really fun. I think the gags in the trailer about that work really well. The Minions getting superpowers. I'm interested to see where they're going with that storyline. But yeah, I just think the trailer looks like a lot of fun and looks like classic Despicable Me. And I'm looking forward to having Will Ferrell in there. I think that will be a fun addition. And just above all else, I think this will be a fun movie to go with my little cousins to see and just have fun watching it with them because I know they'll enjoy it. In sixth place, I have Alien Romulus, and the marketing for this movie has just really worked for me. I'm not even the biggest fan of the Alien movies. I enjoy Alien and Aliens, but they're not classics or anything. They're just pretty solid. But I've really, really dug what they're set up with this movie. I think taking it back to more of the horror roots, but while also maintaining some of that action style is awesome. Fede Alvarez is like the perfect pick for me. I mean, Don't Breathe is one of the most tense movies like ever. It's so intense, this claustrophobic setting, and it gets exactly what you need in an alien movie. So that has me so, so excited. Kaylee Spaney, I'm so happy she's leading this movie, and yeah, I'm just really excited. Isabel Merced is in it too, and I think she's excellent. All around, I think they just got a really good director, some good cast picks, and I just think this will be a really intense movie. And yeah, I mean that's what you want from an alien movie, just that really solid tension and horror. And watching it was that trailer was so intense. I love where it has the classic tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream," but before the word "scream" pops up, they just cut the sound for the rest of the trailer, and like immediately you're just on the edge of your seat, just engrossed into the trailer. I thought it was just really well done, and can't wait. I think this movie will be just intense, terrifying, and claustrophobic, and that's what I want in an alien movie. So bring it on. In fifth place, I have Bad Boys Ride or Die, and this movie technically came out last week, but I'm a little late to the party. I'm waiting to see it with my dad when I go back home. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to this movie. I just rewatched the other three movies and am prepping a ranking, and I think this is just going to be another solid entry into the franchise. Going back through the other entries, it just makes you realize how solid of a franchise the Bad Boys movies are. There is not a bad one, and they're just a lot of fun. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, they're just a blast to watch. They really nail these characters. I think the new directors they have for that are carrying over from Bad Boys for Life, they are really solid, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. I've seen some of the behind the scenes cinematography they've been doing, and it's really cool for some of the action scenes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The only weird thing about this one is I do think they planned it weird with the title, where this one really should have been called Bad Boys for Life, but what can you do? They kind of wrote themselves into a corner with their title for the third movie. But yeah, I think this will be a lot of fun, just a real fun, good time at the movies. So definitely looking forward to checking it out. And for fourth place, I have A Quiet Place Day One, and I absolutely love the Quiet Place movies. I think they're some of the best horror thriller movies that are out there. I love them. They're both perfect movies to me. So if this was A Quiet Place Part 3, it'd probably be number one on this list. But what's holding it back is I'm just a tiny bit skeptical. I'm still so excited, just a tiny bit skeptical because I'm just a little worried this one won't have the emotional angle that the first two have. What's really great about those first two and holds it above other monster horror movies is that they just have such an emotional core and they're about grief, family, and just pushing through. But I don't know how this will go. I don't know what the characters be like, how character focused it will be. So I am so excited because John Krasinski, who runs this franchise, even though he's not directing this one, I trust that he's going to approve a movie that is just as good. But I'm just a little skeptical that he's not returning to direct and that we're going to different characters. So I just really am hoping this one isn't more focused on the blockbuster action than the character moments, because the character moments is where this franchise shines. So I am trying not to get my hopes up too much, but it's hard because I love this franchise and I think this could be something good. I thought the trailers were solid, and yeah, not loving the director pick. It's the director who did Pig, which I didn't hate that movie, but I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of just meh. So I hope there's something that he brings the character stuff to this one, because Pig is more character focused. So I hope that with a better story than Pig and just the Quiet Place aesthetic and the focus on the characters in this franchise, that he'll make something awesome. But I'll just have to wait and see. I really hope this one is special and fits in with this flawless franchise so far. In third place, we have Maxine, which is the third part in the X trilogy. And I really enjoyed X. I thought it was a cool 70s slasher. I thought Pearl was a cool character study kind of horror movie with a Technicolor aesthetic. And Maxine seems to be an awesome, really cool stylistic horror movie, which would follow up the others we have in the franchise. So from what I've seen, I'm very interested. I think it's really cool, this 80s serial killer aesthetic with Hollywood and the adult film industry in the background. I think that just seems like a really cool horror movie, and I'm looking forward to it. I thought the trailers have been really strong. I really like the style, and I think some of the just the cool little visuals we're getting, like the Bates Motel and Maxine seeing visions of Pearl. I just think that looks really interesting. I like that they're utilizing the Night Stalker, and I don't know what spin they're going to play on that. Where are they going to have someone else be the Night Stalker? Are they going to go with the actual history of it? That should be interesting. And I like that they got this expanded cast now, where we got Giancarlo Esposito, Kevin Bacon. Just seems really cool. Seems like it's getting a bigger culmination to the trilogy. Mia Goth's been great in all of these, and Ty West's been a cool director doing them. So I have so much confidence that this is gonna end the trilogy with a bang, and I'm very much looking forward to this. All the marketing I'm seeing has been great, and yeah, I'm keeping my eye on when tickets go on sale because I'm really hoping to check this one out as early as I can. In second place, I have Twisters, and I think this just looks like an absolute fun popcorn movie. And that's awesome. We don't get many of those anymore where it's just a fun disaster movie with some cool stars. So I'm so sold. Glenn Powell's been on an absolute roll lately. Like I was talking about with Hitman earlier and Anyone But You and Top Gun Maverick before that, he's just win after win after win. So hoping this is another win. Daisy Edgar Jones looks like she's great in it as well. And just the original Twister is so much fun. And it looks like it has some of that romance, disaster movie kind of fun that the original had. So I'm sold. This just looks like something I will have a blast watching, put a big smile on my face, enjoy some dumb fun, and hopefully just a fun, cool disaster movie. I don't need this to be Oscar winning, don't need this to be anything crazy. I just want to have an absolute good time at the movies. And if you've seen any of the trailers for this, you know that's what it's going to be. There's a fire tornado in one of the trailers. That's amazing. We get two tornadoes morphing into one giant tornado. I mean, that is just like peak cinema right there. And we got Glenn Powell fighting tornadoes. What's not to love about that? That's a winner in my book. And in first place, I have Deadpool and Wolverine. And I was trying not to get my hopes up too much with this movie because the MCU has kind of been hit or miss lately. We got 3 movies last year. I adored Guardians 3, thought The Marvels was solid, and hated Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So just, it's been all over the place. So I'm trying not to get my hopes too much up because I love Deadpool, Love Wolverine, but I mean, every piece of marketing has been amazing. So I immediately, after seeing all the trailers, my hopes skyrocketed, and I was like, you know what? I can't keep my excitement in check anymore. This movie is going to be amazing. So I cannot wait. I already have my tickets for opening night in the biggest theater I could find. I am absolutely excited to see this. I think Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, they just embody these roles. All the rumors of some multiverse fun sounds awesome. I love that Disney's keeping the R rating. This genuinely feels that it has the same kind of humor as the original two Deadpool movies, which I was happy about. I was really worried they were going to soften the humor, but right out of the gate in the first trailer, we were shown that that was not the case. They were going to keep up that wild humor and violence. So I am so sold. Just looks like an absolute blast. I have that Endgame and pre-Endgame level of hype for MCU movies, so I'm so happy. And yeah, this might be the movie for me to save the MCU. So fingers crossed. I am done trying to keep my excitement down. It's impossible. This movie just looks like an absolute amazing time. And yeah, I hope it just doesn't focus too much on being an MCU movie and more just culminates the Fox X-Men universe and just has some Deadpool and Wolverine fun introducing them to the world. But I fully trust Ryan Reynolds. I think this is going to be amazing and pretty easily my most anticipated movie of this summer. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what are your most anticipated movies this summer. There are some ones I didn't talk about, and there's some ones that I have on my list that you might think should be higher up or lower down. So please let me know, and thanks for watching.